Live coming to you from Maui, Hawaii. This is the pinnacle. This is the pinnacle of spirituality. This is the pinnacle of thought, creative thought, spiritual thought, any type of thought that any type of thought that comes across your mind. You want to clear your mind. You want to think about life, where you're going, where you've been, and where you're headed. This is where it can happen. And for all intent and purpose, you don't necessarily have to be here. Hey, that's my coffee. But yeah, like I say, this is the pinnacle of spiritual thought, any type of thought, and you don't necessarily have to be here per se to get that effect. You could be anywhere. It's wherever that place is where you can, find your thoughts, find yourself, and just have that reflection. So, my destination, for all intent and purpose, for this documentary is Maui, Hawaii Live, and we're coming to you live. So. This is your boy, Bishop the Overseer. We want to get this documentary shot, and we want the public to be able to put their input, be able to put their insight and ask questions. And you can preload your questions either before the airing of the live episodes. You can ask your questions during the live episodes or after. We can continue that conversation on that thread and make that connection. So today's episode 1, is about spirituality, and I would just like to start it with the verse from the Bible. So today, the verse of the day will be out of Matthew 6th chapter, verses 3 through 4. So, but when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what the right hand doeth. Thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. And that's out of Matthew 6th chapter, verses 3 through 4, for today, which today is now Wednesday, December the 5th, 2018. And then I go further through my process. I have a prayer and meditation process on my behalf. So next my prayer will come out of Matthew 6th chapter, verses 8 through 13. Be not therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. And that's out of Matthew 6th chapter, verses 8 through 13. And then lastly, I do a prayer out of Luke 6th chapter, verses 27 and 28. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And that's out of Luke 6th chapter, verses 27 and 28. And then I go into my prayer, my process, on an individualistic basis, praying for myself, my wife, child, and family, and praying for my immediate and distant family, and just wishing that peace and serenity on their lives, and in a process that hopefully will empower them. And they may not know I'm praying for them, but I am praying for them. So, we just continue to go through that process. On today's episode, I want to talk, openly and honestly about my process, which is, my spiritual process with, my spiritual origins, as well as my, how I've, come of age and, going through that process. So I'll give you all the view as I speak. Hopefully that'll add context to what I'm saying and the evolution of life and coming of age. So my spiritual origins are from, Christianity. I was raised as a Christian in the Baptist church. My mother was a Christian. Started through that process, and ever since I can remember, I've been trying to get a familiarity with the Bible, trying to find a greater sense of self, because I was taught at an early age that it's not just about yourself, it's about people and society as a whole. You just are a vessel that God has created in that regard to do His work, His or her work, whatever the higher power may be. And in that process, you continue to learn about self, you continue to evolve with self, and know that there will be things that you will get a chance to enjoy in life for yourself on an individualistic basis, but everything that you do essentially goes to the work of God. You are a servant of God. So that's been instilled into me since I can remember. So, going through that process and actually having an opportunity to go through that process is a beautiful thing in my perspective. I learned Psalms early on, learned the Bible, came of age in that process, and, with the, Sunday school, Wednesday night service, and, with the church service, and, always just been God-fearing. And, I don't want to, portray myself as someone that didn't live life, haven't, done things that were against God, against the 10 Commandments and such. Because that's not true. Everyone has to live, everyone has to survive through the circumstance and go through things that make them who they are. So in that process, when you're going through your coming of age, your evolution of who you become, you make decisions based on your circumstance, and in that process, you also make some decisions that are not always good. And you make some decisions that are sometimes bad, or good or alternative. So you just continue to make your way through and follow your guidance that you're given, and you continue on in that process. Further in that process, have the opportunity I've had the opportunity at, traveling to different places and, being in different religious and church processes. So went to some non-denominational churches and, some Catholic churches, Christian churches, Baptist churches, Pentecostal churches, and it seems like everyone basically has a true love for God, and they're all trying to get to that process. So, I would like to further add that, no religion or spirituality is greater than the other, and everyone is entitled to their belief, whether they are God-fearing or whether they're atheists. I think the theme of this episode is to believe in something. Yeah, I think it's essential to believe in something, or you'll fall for anything. So if you take anything out of this here episode, that'll be the thing to take away. So coming to you on the next episode, we'll be discussing some more in-depth items as it relates to spirituality and how spirituality has affected my life. Bishop the Overseer out.